And then I
Yep.
was looking at the school, there was a, oh, she's not.
I am going to call open the school board meeting at 6:02, and you guys can try to do it. Sorry, I had a few updates I had to do. We are going to open for public input for 15 minutes with no more than 3 minutes per individual unless we extend the time. And so we're going to time it, and I'm going to record it because we want to make sure that we have your questions exact so that we can respond back to them next one.
Yeah, so looking at the agenda, and I'm not sure if I'll see it on here, there's been, I guess, scuttlebutt on social media, I've only been provided a screen print or whatever regarding school insurance. Is that being discussed tonight?
Normally we wouldn't answer the question, but yes, it's being added, it'll be added.
And I guess another question is, do you have responses to my questions that I did at the last meeting? And I don't expect to answer like this on
I'm going to point to it. So yes, under public input is the responses to the public input for last month.
Yeah.
So the next agenda item will be all the answers from last
Okay,
month.
all right, thank you.
You're welcome. Go ahead. Can you state your name just so that she has it for the record?
Jim Keegan.
Thank you.
So the question is, the last few months I was here, do you have a number as far as the residual money left over from last year's budget?
Yeah, so that was your question from last month. So it will be in the, when we have the responses to the questions from last month, that will be there. But typically we would say you would have a response for next month.
Okay, the second question is, are you going to tell me who made the video that I've been asking about?
Yeah, so again, all the responses from the questions from last month, I'm going to read it in a minute. Did you have any other questions? I don't want to move on to the next person for the board.
Nothing particular right now.
Okay.
You said you're gonna answer all the questions that we had. Are we gonna be able to respond to those answers during that?
So the public input will open up again at the end of the meeting.
I may not be here for the end of the meeting, so am I gonna be able to respond to that?
Again, public input will be again at the end of the meeting. You can always email us if there's something that comes up that you didn't feel like it was answered, that you didn't get your answer. You can always email us, and then we can get it back. Go ahead.
Yeah, I remember the question now. But at the first meeting, when I asked about the video, you guys said that I would be able to find the video. I
What are the school board members being paid? The chair is paid $1,650 per year. The members are paid $1,500 per year. The clerk is paid $200. The moderator is paid $200, and the treasurer is paid $800.
What was that last one?
$800 for the treasurer. I printed a few. If we need more, let me know. I didn't want to make too many copies. She raised something, sorry. She raised her hand. What was the total value of the special election warrant article, straight salary and taxes, FICA and HRS? $66,705, yes, wages, FICA and HRS, and $10,000 in professional development. The third question was an increase in the health insurance line, to be shuffled around and listed increased percents. The increase in the health insurance rate from last year to this year was 8.5%, and it states that they have not shopped around. How many people are in the wage line, health insurance line? There are 35 positions, 2 substitutes, 1 for paras and 1 for teachers in the budget, 5 school board members, 1 clerk, 1 moderator in the wage line, and then there are 20 employees who take district health insurance. The school board members and the paras and substitutes do not have health insurance. There is a new hire in guidance for $37,000. Is this 1 person or more? The response was it's only 1 person, the school counselor in this wage line. I don't see in any of the financials a $37,000 increase. Guidance is 2120 function line. The sixth question was that they had heard that the nurses are to join the GWRSD CBA at the budget committee meeting. Is this true? Huggins Hospital will no longer contract with GWRSD or MSD for nurses starting in July of 2026. The new Middleton Education Association collective bargaining agreement includes nurses in the union contract. Therefore, in July of 2026, the district will hire a school nurse, and this position will be covered by the union agreement. Number 7 was the education media service line. Is this a new hire this year? And the response was yes. School board services, dues and fees, $3,710. Is this NHSBA? Yes, that is. The office of the superintendent increased to 12.5%. This is contractual, and the answer was yes. Transportation increase, is this an additional driver? Yes, due to the needs of the district. Number 11 was special education professional pupil services increased 63%. What is this? Okay. The budget amount is directly related to the mandated IEP for all Middleton students. If services are listed in a student's IEP, then the district is obligated to provide the students with these services. So that must be what that changes. There was increased services provided. Number 12, why is the private tuition line gone now? For the special education director who builds the budget, the students' needs were not there this fiscal year. Number 13, ballot clerks / supervisors were not paid for the special education duties. And the response was 1 left due to, there was, I'm guessing, 1 special election, I'm sorry, special election duties. There was 1 W-9 that will be to receive. And in order to pay that individual. Number 14, detailed breakdown of the budget report. Information was copied to a USB and is available to the member of the budget committee requesting it. That was provided to them, I'm guessing, or is being provided to them. Stated. Number 15, residual funds left over from the 2024-2025 budget. It was $81,527.82. Number 16 was to authorize the video to go out to families who made the video. concerns that if the proposed budget didn't pass, there would be enough funds to meet the current payroll. The majority of the budget was, with the majority of the budget being salaries, the board was hoping to share this concern with the community prior to an increased participation in the election. The board didn't want to incur any additional costs to send mailings, and due to the time frame prior to the deliberative session being limited, we decided that the best decision and most cost effective was to reach the community with a video. The video was sent out on parent survey by Principal Bronson. Who made the video? School board member Heather Kremen volunteered to have herself and her husband Timothy produce a video sharing the concerns of the school board. And again, the video was shared on parent survey by Principal Bronson, and there was no cost for the video. 17 monthly revenue report requested, starting with September 2025 financials. I'm not really sure the response to that.
It says monthly revenue report request.
Oh, it was six.
Started
Okay,
this month.
got it. So we're starting that this month. And then number 18, who advised the school board not to answer questions during public input? The School Board Association encouraged us to change our model from answering questions during public input to just accepting questions and providing responses at a later time to ensure the ability to provide accurate responses. Okay, and we will move into agenda review. Is there anything that needs to be added?
Yes. I'd like to add school care assessment at the end of the superintendent's report, please.
Okay. Did anyone else need to add anything? Okay, we'll move into the acceptance of minutes. Do I have a motion? Have you guys had a chance to review the minutes? I would request a motion for the September 10th, 2025 Academic Affairs Committee meeting minutes.
I will make that motion.
Do I have a second? All right. All in favor? I was not present for that meeting, so I am going to abstain. And then moving into the September 10th, 2025 Finance Committee meeting minutes. Do I have a motion for that? Okay. We will pass on that. And then September 10th, 2025, the meeting minutes for the school board meeting. Do I have a motion for that? Do I have a second? Okay, all in favor? Okay, moving into the superintendent's report.
Thank you very much. We'll start with the Middleton Elementary School updates with Principal Leva Carlson, and I think she's involving some special guests.
Hi, everybody. These are in no particular order. So over the last month, our school has been alive with students learning, teachers teaching, and all of us showing up to be our best selves every day. Right now, we've had 2 emergency drills so far, and plan on another one soon, and we're in the midst of Fire Safety Week, which you probably saw the banner of when you walked in. I just want to publicly say I'm indebted to the collaboration with our emergency services in town. They have been fabulous to work with this year. This week, we've also started David team meetings in which we bring all the essential voices to the table to check where students are at and how to best meet their needs. We include academic data, and might include other types as well, including attendance and behavior data to try and get a full picture of our students. I'm really proud of this collaborative effort that goes into making sure every kid is right where they need to be and we are assisting them. I also want to say we had a really successful open house in the last month. Many families and students joined us to visit classrooms, check in with our Infinite Campus registration and free and reduced lunch table. walk by community partners, and our costume drive. Thank you to everyone who donated and to the Alpaca Palace PTA for your continued support. This week we also opened our Lions Club Vision Screener, and a big thank you goes to our Lions Club for continually supporting our students each year with this important vision screener. And I'd like to thank our school nurse, Mary Beth Smith, for facilitating it. At this time, I'm really hoping to introduce Nate Buell, our PE teacher, to talk about a student-led initiative from a few years ago, our new Gaga Pit.
Hi everyone, good evening. I am here just because we were able to build a new Gaga ball pit over the summer, and it was fully funded.
What is Gaga?
It is a fun, fancy game where you need a hexagonal square pit, and it's basically dodgeball below the knees, but you hit the ball, you don't throw it. And it was completely funded by our 2023-2024 strong leaders, and we even have one of those students here today. So they are now 8th graders and 7th graders in the middle school right now. So I have to recognize all of those names right now, and Alexia Davis, you'll be like the first one, come on up. Didn't tell you you're getting called up, but she was one of our 23-24 strong leaders, and she's now in 8th grade in the middle school. And we reached out to all families, and most of these kids are at sports right now. But we also want to recognize Ivy Lawyer, Josh Kuchar, Alexia Davis, who's right here, Larry Ramsey, and Ariana Wilson. And we have this plaque out there on the Gaga ball pit, which is pretty awesome. And we're hoping it lasts a long time. Thank you.
Thank you. And I should mention that Mr. Buell donated his time this summer to construct it with the materials that he had, or the students had fundraised, so that we could have it up and ready to go for the beginning of the school year. And he's already embedded that into his curriculum with teaching sportsmanship, as well as the game. So it has been actively used during our recesses as well. So thank you, Mr. Buell.
Okay, may I continue? Superintendent report? Thank you. Okay, next is school enrollment. So we're required to capture school enrollment by October 1st every year for the state. And so we have the numbers for the board. So preschool, so as of October 1st, we have 6 students in preschool, 17 in kindergarten, 21 in grade 1, 15 in grade 2, 18 in grade 3. We have a big 4th grade class, so we have 2 classes there. We have 2 classes, 15 and 16, total of 31. Grade 5, we have 23, and grade 6, we have 23. Over at Kingswood, we have 14 from Middleton in grade 7, 17 in grade 8, 6 in grade 9, 17 in grade 10, 17 in grade 11, and 18 seniors hopefully successfully graduating this year.
Only 6 and 9th grade?
Correct.
Correct. 9th grade is a smaller class this year. So the district total is 243. That's down from last year, that was 263 total. I don't think so, but if anybody wants a copy of this, just let us know. Happy to post that. We're posting a lot to the website these days. I'll let the board discuss that. Okay, so that's the one. Any questions? Okay. Next, this is the time when we announce our winter weather. This was sent to all families last Friday. Inclement weather procedures. So as always, snow day, cancellations for snow days are traditional snow days. The board made that decision last year, if not earlier. So in any case of inclement snow day, cancellation due to inclement weather, it's a traditional snow day. No remote learning, no booster packs. I never hear complaints about that. So that, I believe, will continue. Any questions? Hopefully we won't see that for a while. Months and upon months. And tonight is another story. Okay, budget timeline, 26-27. So the budget timeline, I'll read a few the pertinent dates for Middleton. So thank you very much. November 12th is the next school board meeting where the school board will review the budget and hopefully for adoption. And then January 22nd is you're not collective bargaining this year, or bond hearing. So January 22nd, last day for budget committee to deliver budget and warrant article recommendations to the governing body for posting. January 26th, last date to post warrant budget and default budget. Filing dates for school district officers is between January 21st and 30th. We have one school board seat up for re-election, that's Samantha's seat. Deliberative session will be Saturday, February 7th at 10 a.m. right here at Middleton Elementary School. And voting is Tuesday, March 10th. So we encourage the community to vote. Thank you. Any questions? Okay. Financial reports. Does the board have any questions about the financials for Kathy? And Kathy provided some of that stuff.
I don't believe that last month's meeting that I had put in the teacher's agreement of $66,709. So if you're looking at the very first column on the financials, it says budget, and then the next column says adjustments, those would be adjustments. So if you look to the very end of the report on page 5, the adjustment column equals $66,709. Other than that, everything's been, no issues, no unexpected expenditures, nothing to really report.
Any other questions? Thank you very much. And next, the agenda item I added, school care assessment. So I did include some information at the end of the paper as well. So we received a notice from school care. This is the school care is where we have our health insurance for employees. It's through many school districts in the state, Middleton and Governor Wentworth included. School care let us know that due to claims and pharmacy costs that have far exceeded projections, they have been tapping reserves. As of June 30th, their reserves are critically low, leaving us with a projected deficit of $4.5 million. Without corrective action, the stability of the pool is at risk. So as a way to restore financial stability, school care sent an assessment contribution to all of their member entities. The amount sent to Middleton School District is $69,608.71. This is a contribution assessment. It's equal to about a month and a half what a district pays rate each month. So the options would be to, you could ask the SAU to identify options for you over the next 2 more board meetings before January. So certainly we could look at the current budget and see, different opportunities for finding this amount now. We could budget it in next year's budget, and then we would still incur the interest, but we could pay it between July 1st and July 15th. That's not something that the board has to decide tonight. You could decide at one of the next 2 meetings. We can bring you some more information.
Just curious, what's the consequences if we don't?
If there's no, what they have said is, if there's no plan to pay by May, they stop paying on claims. I think I do have, they did share a question and answer document. Let's see. Yeah, I think that one here.
Do you know how many schools across the state use this company?
What I do know is that it's 89 member entities, and the majority of those are school districts. Some of them are other entities, municipalities, town libraries. The town of Wolfboro, I happen to know, is a member, but the majority are school districts.
And this is the one that was put into the collective bargaining agreement with their insurance.
Yes.
So in order to change it, we would need approval from the Teachers Association to make any changes to this particular company.
Correct. Yep. Have you guys been able to hear Heather speaking?
If you could speak up a little, please.
Can I have
Yeah.
So my questions were just, who else in the state uses them, this particular insurance? And this particular insurance is listed as an insurance company in the collective bargaining agreement, and we would need to have the Teachers Association's approval to put it out to bid for other entities to come back. And I didn't ask this question yet, but I will, I know the answer from the finance committee you just said. But is there an increased cost that they have preliminary given us for next year for what the insurance increase cost will be?
They're saying 16%.
So we saw an 8% increase last year, it's going to go to 16%. So then we need to go back to the Teachers Association to see if they would be interested in having us put it out to bid, see if we could find some more affordable options. But
Yes,
since it's in the collective bargaining agreement, we need approval of the Teachers Association to do that. So.
It would definitely have to be a meeting with the board or at least 2 members of the board and the union to come to a mutual agreement.
Was the number 16 or 60?
69.
It's going, no, 1/6.
1/6.
Oh, sorry, the increase.
Increase, not the amount.
The increase is 16%.
And then the total amount we have to pay them for this current year is
6,069. So yeah, 69,000.
This is a contribution of 7.
But that's for the 25-26 year? The 69 applies to
The
the
16% would be as of July 1st. That's for next year.
So what are you putting in the budget for next year?
Right, so, I'm sorry, so the 69,680 applies to last year's budget?
Correct.
Yes.
You're saying current, not the last.
Well, it's this budget year, correct?
So this would have to be paid now.
I
But it's
understand it has to
it's-
be paid now, but this 69 really should have been applied to last year's budget, because we, that they didn't pay, we didn't pay bills correctly, or I'm just trying to understand.
No, this is, they have a decrease in their reserves. So they are assessing all members because it's actually a risk pool. So school care is a risk
studies been through. That's what I'm saying, so this is really based off of experience from a prior year, and now they're doing a catch-up.
Exactly, so they've depleted their funds in their reserve accounts due to increased claims. And because of that, they're asking us to pay these amounts to help them recoup their reserve accounts.
And then what we have in this current year's budget, that's gonna be an increase of 16%.
Correct.
If we stay.
If we stay with,
Okay, all right, that, I just wanted, okay, thank you.
if we were to continue with this company, then yes, it would be an anticipated 16% increase next year. And the total increase.
Are we able to use the reserve funds to pay for that? That would be the question I'd like to have an answer to. We don't need to know that now, but if you know, great. If not, then let's look into that for next meeting. Okay. That's all I need.
Okay, so your question was, can we use any of our reserve funds to pay that? And you stated probably not.
At this moment, it's unlikely, as far as I know, because they're for special education. It's a bus fund, it's building and maintenance. And there's one more. Oh, you meant unreserved.
The residual funds that we have is about 81,000.
So the unreserved funds from last year, I believe that is allowed. However, I would want to check with Kathy as far as, have we put that into your trusts yet?
Exploring all of our options.
Absolutely. And this is what boards are looking at. Unreserved funds from last year, any revenue, any, opportunities within your budget now. And then the other option is to budget it in your next fiscal year.
So your response to Heather's question was that the amount that was left, you're unsure if we put the money into the special accounts that were part of the election yet or not. So they're not sure if that is an actual overage or if that was after everything was placed in the accounts. So we'll have to get clarification for you guys on that.
So we'll bring additional information for the board next month.
Have we gone to our legal to see what, I know we would have to get an agreement. Is there anything that holds us other than the teacher's agreement to stay with school care? Or, okay, so anything else we could say, we could just say we've opted to go another direction?
Correct. So it would be the teachers agreement, yes.
So if we do opt to do that, would that take away that 69,000 that we have today? Okay, so either way.
That's now. And if you make a change, it would be as of July 1st.
So it would just be to not have that 16% increase is what we would be able to avoid.
We would be looking at options. You could hire a broker, you could go private, you could look at another risk pool. So it's something that you could explore.
Okay,
It does take time,
of course.
but
Have any of the other, has like Governor Wentworth or anyone else decided what they're doing as far as staying with or going with another?
Governor Wentworth just voted to create a committee with their human resources committee, and they have 3 associations. So they haven't started this yet, but they did just take a vote to approve the committee. So it'd be the HR committee and the leads from their 3 associations to get together to discuss options.
Is that something that our school would want to do?
I think we talked about,
We talked about the finance committee, looking to see if we could set up a meeting with the previous bargaining board members and because we don't, kind of small, we don't necessarily need a committee, but yes, we want to invite them to see if that was something, conversation they would like to have about exploring other insurance options.
So that's something that you guys discussed in your finance meeting before this meeting?
Correct, and we'll take that.
No, that's fine, I just want to make sure that.
Can I just ask if you, to make sure that these numbers come to the budget meeting, in case I've got something written down wrong, or for some reason I didn't make the meeting, so we make sure we have them for the budget meeting, please.
Yes, we will make sure that you have this. You're welcome. Any other questions about school care? So because we actually listed school care as the insurance and collective bargaining agreement.
Or comparable, but we have to go back to the table according to, on page 15.
Okay. Yeah.
So the collective bargaining agreement under D2 for insurance at page 15, that indicates the district. I think, yeah, but it says that the district shall pay 90% of the premium cost for school care plan with choice fund, or any other comparable plans provided by a different health insurance provider which is mutually agreed upon by both parties. So that's what they need to do.
So we need to come up with some options and figure out where to go from there.
Correct.
And the finance committee is planning on working on that, or is that what you're thinking you'd like to do?
When we get to the update, we'll make a motion to establish the negotiators to schedule.
Any other comments, questions about school care?
I would just like to add this to the agenda for next meeting, once we have some more information.
For the next school board meeting or the next finance meeting?
Well, it'll be on both, the
Okay.
school board meeting for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, chairperson's report, water project update.
So we have, I know, I could probably speak better to this, but I'm aware that we, per the board's request at the last meeting, we put out to bid, the other company, they were not very easy to work with, and it took several weeks, and ultimately they were not prepared or interested or available to do the job, so.
Yeah, so Ivy had worked diligently to line up two quotes. We had the first company that actually presented last school board meeting, and then the other company was supposed to come in with their quote. I think they told you by Friday of that week. Oh, they came on Friday, and then they were going to give us a quote. Ivy met with them. She gave them all the information that they had asked for. They extended out until just last week, finally coming back and saying that they had decided they didn't feel they were equipped to provide us with the system based on what they had, and that they were declining to provide us a quote. So we did move forward with the other company that we had that met with us last month at the school board meeting. Okay, so at the end of November, the company will start working on the water filtration system to.
It's a short process.
Perfect. So timeframe, are they thinking, could they give like a week, 2 weeks, or what they think that the timeframe will be to actually do that?
So, my God.
So what was shared with me is that we have a tentative date to start this project at the end of November. I don't remember off the top of my head if it's the 24th or the 26th, but somewhere right in there. It should be zero impact on our students as they do the work, and it shouldn't take a very long period of time because they're going to do all the prep work ahead of time. We have, I hope I'm remembering this correctly, but we have tanks that will allow us to have uninterrupted flow for water for bathrooms and flushing toilets and all the things that we need water for as they do the work, and then we'll be online. And then there's, I assume, a water testing process that would have to happen as well. But the timeline is a pretty quick turnaround now that we are in the queue.
Thank you. Any questions from anyone regarding the water? Okay, we will move into Parks and Rec trail use request.
So this was a request from the board to return this on the agenda
We're not 100% certain we are gonna be able to do it, but we wanted permission just in case.
Okay, I think some of the questions were insurance, correct?
Oh, I'm not sure.
I think we
There's
mixed
a question about insurance?
Yeah, I think it was what the liability risk for using the,
We do have our own insurance.
Okay.
I just want to make sure there's nothing that our insurance company, like, in order for like, if we had another group.
We had to get a rider to allow students to practice basketball here under Farmington. So like, we just want to make sure if there's anything that they need from us to cover it, that we can make sure we can do that.
So typically the process would be to fill out a facility use request, even though it's in the trails, it's not the building, and that's what instigates our whole approval process. But we can make sure you have those forms.
We can buy you our insurance too, like we do for the crack fail, yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say, you guys do the cracker, so
Yes,
it's.
to do the same
Be a
thing.
lot.
We have limits on what we can and cannot do. We can't have a bonfire, we can't have a scary house, we can't do jet skiing, we can't do water slide. I mean, so it would basically just be a whole bunch of lights down there in the path. You know, just like, what, huh?
Yes.
Well, I don't know, I have to ask the town for that. But, yeah, just like a walk, limited walkway,
That's right.
you know.
Yeah.
It sounds lovely.
It does. I think that would be the best, move forward, just like you did with the, for the craft fairs, go ahead and do the use
Okay.
form, and then she should, I think Isaac can get everything through that way.
Thank you. Being so far from everything, like I'm originally from Boston, so everything's right there. And now to go to like one of those places where they have, you have 2 million lights and we walk through an acre and a half or whatever, it's like, you don't have one besides Farmington and the pair. So We we're thought like, it'd be nice to hey,
It's
where
fine.
can we do
For
this?
sure.
Oh, yeah.
So, Karen, if they do the facility use form, then it doesn't need to come back to us, does it?
We reviewed the facility use form and the policy last month with Ivy, and I don't believe there's any, Ivy is able to, unless you're making a certain amount of money, correct, or I think is what it was.
Yeah,
So you can approve everything.
Yeah, the principal.
Yes, that's what we had approved.
And we check it at SAU with insurance, so no problem. Yeah.
Okay, so they're good to go.
They won't need us to be a part of it to go forward because they're not charging a fee to be able to do the walk. So it sounds like Ivy will be able to kind of get them all that they need to get approved.
Thank you.
Okay, academic affairs committee policies.
Did anybody have any questions about any policies?
Are these going to be the final ones uploaded on the website, or are they on there?
Yes, please.
So the process, do you want me to speak to the process a little bit? So the new academic affairs policy committee worked very diligently and productively. So these are now first read. So the first time they come to the board, along with the policies, that's just our first read, you don't take action on them. However, even in draft form, we'll post them to the website so the community can read them. And if there's any input, they'll be there ahead of time, and you can come and make, public comment accordingly. Then, the board just reads them at first read for review, and then we bring the same list to the second read, and for second read and adoption at the next meeting. So then at that meeting, you vote to accept policies, or table policies, or edit policies. And that's it.
Will the academic affairs committee have a recommendation to the board about adopting them?
Yes, absolutely. So these are here because the Academic Affairs Committee already reviewed these very carefully and moved to bring them to the board for first read. So they have vetted these, brought them to the full board for the board's first read and review. And so now the board has 2 meetings to consider these policies.
Since the acronyms that they are listed under have absolutely nothing to do with the title of the policy, I'm going to ask that we put the name of the policy as the document name when we're posting them, because I posted them from ours, and I have a list of a bunch of acronyms that lead to links that I don't know what they are until I open it.
Sure.
So it'd be nice to see like the name of it officially, so that people can say, oh, I want to read this one, I want to read what this one says. Otherwise, you have to scroll through 30 of them before you.
Thank you, we'll work on that.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Also, we talked about if members of the public had questions on policies, then they can email.
Absolutely. Email us questions about policies, but they're all going to be posted because there are so many, you can't be expected to just, leave them at one time.
Right. But you said public comment, like if somebody couldn't do public comment, then they could certainly.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Anytime.
That actually is available for any situation at any time. Anyone who has a question that they didn't get to ask during public comment or comes up, or that anyone can always email the board a question that we would be able to get back to them. Anything else with the academic affairs committee policy? So these are basically first reads.
These are first reading. This is an opportunity if the other board members who are not on that committee, if they have any questions for the committee or for me on these policies, you can feel free to ask.
So will these be on the agenda for next month for second?
That's right.
Any other questions or concerns about any of the
I just have one more question. So the recommendation that we had at the policy meeting, are those updates on the website?
These draft policies.
Yeah, and then updated, yes, sorry.
Yes.
We're going to add the titles. We're going to add the titles so it's easier.
Thank you.
I just had a question. The student wellness activities, there are some things that I don't know.
Is this JLCF wellness?
Yes.
Okay.
There are things in here about like snacks that are provided at volunteer functions that are at the schools. I'm just thinking about PTO, whether that applies to you or not. So that would be one I just want to flag. Just need to look at and see if there are any input or concerns you guys have. It's JLC. It's the student wellness activity.
For revision.
What was your question? Did you have a question for me?
No, I just wanted to flag it for PTO to see if they felt like any of that may apply to them at all, and if they wanted to just be aware of that. That's all.
Anything else anyone else?
Thank you for taking the time to go through all of these. There were a lot, and you guys, I can tell, put a lot of work into it. So
Yes, there's a-
thank you very much.
Very good.
So,
Very good. Okay, finance committee update. Take turns.
So the finance committee met for the board meeting today, kind of laid out some framework on when we would expect some budget numbers. So we'll be coming to the November board meeting with the proposed budget. It'll have been reviewed by the finance committee ahead of time. So that hopefully if there's any iteration that needs to be made, we can present to you the full the budget that we're moving forward with. Because the budget committee is expecting the proposal to be sent to them, or given to them that following Monday night. So we'll be working to make sure that what's presented to the full board next month is something that everyone's comfortable with. We do need to make a motion to allow the SAU to run some budget numbers for payroll. So we need to make a motion to, what Heather and I had discussed was to give the SAU two numbers for percentages to use for proposed increases for support staff, custodians, bus drivers, yeah. So we are looking to make a proposal to do the current CPI for the Northeast region, which is at 3.3, and then also at 2.5, so lower than the CPI for the Northeast region. So as a board, we need to discuss to see what your thoughts are on those two. So she'll come to us with two numbers, a budget for if we were to do a 3.3%, and then a budget if we were to do a 2.5%, or whatever the board ends up agreeing on.
Where does the 2.5 come from? Is that proposed by someone else, or someone else doing 2.5, but we just want to do the 2, or is it just for budgetary concerns?
It's to offer it lower than what the CPI is. So if we're not comfortable with what a 3.3% increase comes in at for the budget, then to also offer a lower number for an increase.
And this is just for the bus drivers, repairs?
Anyone outside of the agreement, right? Correct.
What have we typically done for raises for those roles? Percentages again?
The bus drivers, I think, did 3% in last year, and then the custodians also had 3% last year. The paras, the level that they went from the $16 to $20 an hour increase last year. They factored all of that, maybe we can't look at these figures. So we're not, I mean, if there's another figure you want, yes, I do that's fine. We just thought we'd do sort of the current and then what we thought was a lower range.
That's something you're proposing for next year's budget. Is that what it is?
Yeah, for the 26-27 school year.
So you have, as a board, have a couple different figures. If you want a 33% to stick with what we've done last year, you can, and then you want to change that now.
So historically, we've done 3%.
I don't know, sorry, I just don't know.
Never.
I know.
So you need a motion to work with the district to come up with these figures look like.
Right, we need to give them at least two options. We want to add a third in there, but I think if we keep it to two, it'll be easier to decide which one we'll go with. If we have too many options, it's going to be too many questions. So we need to make a motion to say we want numbers run for this percentage and then for this percentage.
Was it the finance committee that came up with the 2.5 for 3.1?
The 3.3 is the current CPI for the Northeast region, and then we went lower than that at 2.5.
I would make a motion to you guys to work with those numbers. I think those numbers are numbers that I'd be comfortable with working with. So 3.3 makes sense to me because that's that average. And then the 2.5 I think is a reasonable adjustment in being for the taxpayers and the employees. So I'll make a motion to work with the two different numbers, 2.5 and 3.3, to determine wage increases and the difference between those two numbers for those positions outside of the collective bargaining agreement.
I'll second that.
In part-time special ed and a part-time media specialist are the two open positions right now.
So the other item we need to make a motion on is, so we need to meet with the Middleton Education Association. One, to talk about the school insurance and then, or health insurance. And then the other factor is to talk about, the nurses' salary schedule for adding them into the agreement for the 26-27 school year. So currently it's written in the agreement that we need to meet in the fall of 2025 to begin the discussions to establish that salary schedule for the nurse. So we need to make a motion for who from the board will be a part of those discussions. So for, to create that agreement, it was myself and Kelly. I know we're both willing to serve on that again. So we would need somebody to make a motion, if you're comfortable with the two of us continuing on those discussions. And then the SAU will work on getting that scheduled between us and the association.
I don't think that.
I think it makes sense for Tom and me to keep this review.
That's.
No, I wanted to actually stay with me.
Oh, okay. I move to authorize the school board through Kelly and Nicole to meet with the Teachers Association to discuss the nursing pay scale and the increased health insurance costs for next year.
I second. All in favor? And everything is over there. Anything else from
Okay, nothing further from the finance committee, we will move into the community relations update. Would you like to do this okay, so for community relations, we, instead of making it a full committee, we decided to be community relations liaisons. So we'll be representing the board and trying to work with the community and get everything out to the public. We have updated the website with the new community relations tab where we're going to post the answers to the public input questions. After the meeting, so typically after the next meeting, they'll be posted within 24 hours. And then we wanted to bring to the board the topic of posting the agendas for the upcoming meetings, 1 to 2 days prior to the meetings, with a link to the agenda on our SAU website, on social media for the public to see so that they can be aware that the meeting is coming up and where to find those agendas.
What social media do we have?
We would be using the town's site. We don't have any preference to create our own social media page at this time, but that might be something that we decide to do in the future. What does the rest of the board think about posting the agenda for the town to review before, so that anyone that's looking for what's going to be reviewed in the meeting has an idea of what's going to be going on?
I think that should be presented to the select board, so then to decide.
Right, we're just our website is posted ahead of time. So that's already being done, do we have it in a certain, were you able to find it when you were looking? It's on the SAU website, it's not shared publicly, so nobody knows. Okay.
Was there any discussion about either SAU or the school creating their own Facebook?
We tested, but we have not made any decisions. I think we were going to bring that to you guys before we decided to do that. So we
kind of started with our first little meeting and figuring out making the website a little bit more user-friendly. So that was where we started, so I did a lot of work, Kathy, on making it a lot more user-friendly and easier to navigate. We would love for the town to review that and people of the town give us input if you think that things are easier to find, because we've heard a lot from you guys that it's not easy to find information. So please, please, please look at the website and see what you think and let us know.
SAU or school website or both?
It's the Middleton School website. Anything else? I don't think that, I can't think of anything else from March either.
And we do have edit access to the SAU website now, so we can, make some of these changes on ours and then copy this and mark it. Do that for us.
So don't feel like you have to wait to give us input for like next month. Feel free to email if you have input and we will fix things as quickly as possible. Okay. Moving into closing activities. Advanced planning.
I'm happy to. Yes, yeah, I'm happy to, yes. Upcoming events. No school for Columbus Day on October 13th. Early release on November 7th for parent-teacher conferences. Also on November 10th, parent-teacher conferences. No school on the 11th for Veterans Day. And then we're having committee meetings before the next school board meeting. So all of these will be on November 12th. Academic Affairs Committee and Finance Committee will meet before the board meeting, which will be November 12th at 6 p.m.
Are those meetings open for people to attend if they want to come to them? Perfect. So 5 o'clock for Academic Affairs and Finance Committee before the school board meeting is open to the public. And 6 o'clock we'll see you all here. Okay, we will open up for public input again for 15 minutes. I didn't look up to see whose hand went up first, so I will trust the two of you to let me know.
So you said on here, the video that basically the board came up with an idea to create a video, correct?
So the statement was that the board had decided that getting a video out would be the easiest way to get information out.
Okay, so, then, can I assume that the board reviewed it and approved that it go out, or not?
And I'm gonna have to respond next meeting.
Really?
Right, because I want to keep with the same thing. That I feel like that question was appropriate to be answered, but we need to keep with the same policy of we'll respond to you guys for next month.
And then you say that, because you're trying to save money and not have to mail it out, you send it out on a video rather than a mail. So I realize you've got a little caveat there, it said 80.5, 27, 82. Very little, but
I just want to make sure I understand your question. Can you state that again? You said 81,000.
So you're saying that the reason you went with the video instead of a mailer was to save money? Is that, you know, is that what the board really thought?
That's your question.
Yes.
I just didn't understand where the 81,000, what number you're pulling that from. Are you talking about on the line?
Well, that was the money left over.
Oh, the unreserved funds, okay.
That year's budget. Because, you know, the Parent Square deal that you guys have only goes out to people that have children in the school. What about the rest of the town? Did you ever consider, you know, I can give you a pretty good example of how much that has the potential to sway the vote when only a certain group of people even know that, you know, what information is out there. And the example would be that you have special election decided by the one vote. So this is where I have a problem. I don't have a problem if you want to send videos home. I just think they should go to everybody. Everybody should have the same opportunity to view what you guys are putting out there. And that obviously wasn't the case. And I've been told it's not the first time. So, you know, a little concerned by that. Actually, more than a little concerned.
Thank you.
So just a quick question, in response to the nurse, right now the nurse is per diem, is that correct? The way we do it? She's not she doesn't get paid she doesn't have FICA and all that, so I believe we pay per diem. Meaning we probably pay per day or whatever. So yes, my question is, when it comes up to the contract, and we're including the school nurse, at that point in time, should we consider the school employee? Whereas right now, I don't think the nurse is considered a school employee, I think they're contract services.
I believe she works preference.
Right, so we would be looking to hire an employee at the school, is that correct? I think it's that. So, and are we going to try and stay under that $91,000 that we have in the budget for this year? Because $91,000 is what we're paying on the contract. So if we take out salary, then we have to fight our NHRS, all of that, so that. And I think we brought it up earlier, the 81,527 that's left, is that active warrant articles or not? I know that was a question that came up, so if we could find out that would be great. And I think I asked this question, Heather, maybe I'm bringing back to the budget committee, but I think since we were talking about dates, I've been asked, when would be the last day to submit a petition warrant article for the school? Would that be that 122 day? Did you mention that? John, sorry.
January 13th is the last date for the petition warrant articles. But we can get this posted on the site so that we can get you guys that information to review.
So 113, I just want to make sure that might be the same date for town as well, but I know that we have different deadlines for your budget, so I don't know if it's different for the petition warrant articles. Thanks.
For number 13, I asked last time, about the ballot clerk not being paid with everyone else. I did not get my answer on here. It just says that one was paid and one left due to a W-9 document required in order to pay. That didn't answer my question at all. I asked why we were not paid when everyone else was. Why did no one reach out for that one person? They had all my information. Why was I not paid with everyone else? And I would like the date of when everyone else was paid. I feel like we were segregated out, and that wasn't right.
Are you talking about, who are the other people that you're speaking about?
Myself, the supervisor, Christine and I were the ballot clerks, and then there was the supervisors, the moderator, the clerks. I'm not sure who else was paid from that election, but we feel like we were segregated out, and we'd like answers to why. And we can't use the excuse that they didn't give my information because I had it, and I had that in writing.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
No. So my last comment is, on the town side, you've helped us. I think very good carrier from our standpoint, and they've been willing to work with us. I don't know what our premiums are coming up. I know I think they were just setting a rate like last week or the week before, so I have to, just kind of go with what I've seen in the past. They've been very good about what their rate increases have been, and they've been very good about offering us other programs that are comparable with what we currently have, but it costs more, but picking something that the town is, we consider affordable for both the employee and the employer. And I have to say, I think the coverage is very good. Would you say the coverage is good? Yeah. So that's just maybe a lot to look at.
I think it's better than yours, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know that.
No, we appreciate that. We would welcome any suggestions, I think, when going to look at this. Thank you. Go ahead, Kristen.
I just wanted to announce that on this Friday coming up, the PTO, or Alpaca Falls, we are hosting an event down in Dover at Snapology. Admission is by donation only, so hopefully we'll have a great turnout. All the money that we are trying to raise is going to go to, the kids, hopefully being able to help offset the cost when we do field trips, fun events, and the year stuff. We have a lot of really big ideas, and hopefully we can start rolling it out, but we need to start fundraising. So come out Friday, it's from 5 to 7, and have a great time. And then also we'll be hosting trunk or treat with the recreation committee, and that's on the 25th from 4 to 7. We're looking for candy donations or non-candy item donations for, the kiddos that may have allergies or not candy fans. And then we're looking for some trunks. So if you want to decorate a trunk, contact either the Alpaca Pals or the recreation and sign up. We'd love to have you. And then November 1st, we're going to be also a part of the craft fair, and we are in the process of crafting away. We are looking for some volunteers, parents, kids, or teachers. If you are good with glue gun and want to help make some Christmas ornaments, I would love to have your help. We're going to potentially come up with a day or two where we all get together and make up some Christmas ornaments to sell, so we can have some fun and do some fun stuff.
That's the use of the 28th.
Yes, October 28th, Old Town Hall at 5:30 this month. For your meeting, for our meeting.
Christine, correct me if I'm wrong, there's an opportunity for Snapology to come here, is that right?
So that was another reason why I set up the event for Snapology. Snapology, if you haven't checked out their website, I recommend you do. They offer so many different options for classes or different activities. So they go into schools during the school day and they'll do events with the kids. Sometimes they do a weekly for a couple of months. Sometimes they'll do a 3-week session. They'll have after school things. They offer a wide variety of different activities for kids or they'll actually come here. So the hope was to have this open house event, maybe get some donations to help us, but then also see if there was an interest enough to bring them up here.
So what is the Snapology event? On Friday, it is now, I'm not super familiar with Snapology, is it Legos or something
So
similar?
it's all like, it's themes, it's all STEM-based learning, so it's like a lot of Legos, a lot of like building,
And for the event Friday, you said it's donation day, so are the families making a donation to the Alpaca Fund?
Yeah, so the
Alpaca Fund, sorry.
all the donations will go to the Alpaca Pals, to help fund us, and hopefully we can earn enough money to, where we can potentially either offset the cost of the big one here, and then help with other needs for the kids in the school.
Awesome, thank you. Yes, sir.
Was it stated on video that was like,
I am going to see if we can get you the video.
okay.
I'm gonna leave it at that
That would help me out.
though. Yeah, for sure, it's all going to speculation for you right now, so I'm gonna see if we can get you the video.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other public input? Everybody good? Okay. Closing comments by the board before we do that, I just want to see, do we have any non-public today? Okay, is it, persons, okay, so we have non-public personnel related, so we will do the closing comments by the school board, and then we'll have a motion to move into non-public.
Thank you. I don't really have much to say. I am very excited about a lot of the PTA events that are coming up. Unfortunately, I'm not going to make some of them, but I am very interested in helping out with the packs. Please let me know. Thank you.
Yes, I know that the school tried to get PTAs involved for a long time, so thank you everyone for stepping up, and I'm really excited to see what you guys are doing, so thank you.
I just want to say that I love that part of the Goggle Ball. So awesome.